Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. Marco Polo, right, the premium tier 8 battleship that everyone hates, I guess. I don't know, it's okay. So we got it on, I just recently got this ship, right, I think it was on a live stream, and we got it from like, I don't know, over the holidays, like Spectral Crate or something. Somehow it dropped for me, and everyone was kind of like, meh. A couple people said don't waste your time, right? But I like to play everything, right? So I was like, all right, well, I got enough silver to outfit it, and I'll go through, the build that I've chosen thus far with this ship at the end, like I kind of normally do. But we actually have a decent game. Now, part of this is going to be, and I just switched to AP, and I think this shot here, I'm aiming a little too high. I kind of forgot that I had switched to AP, but still a really awesome shot on this Yamato, a great angle. I probably could have let him a little more, but we do get a good chunk of damage, right? 23,000 damage against that. Didn't even get a Citadel there, right? But so the guns are there, right? The guns are there, right? But yeah. But yeah, so yeah, somewhat of a new ship for me, so we're playing around with it. It does have the optional SAP rounds, and I chose not to go with those, right? You can replace the HE shells with SAP. We're going to see if we can get a quick sneak shot on this Brindisi here right before he goes behind the land. Gonna unload everything as it becomes available. I think maybe that rear turret's the only thing that got me. Oh, man, one other bullet got through. But we do get Citadel there, so we get another almost 20,000 damage just off of him. And then I had dropped the smoke, right? You get the rolling smoke here, which is great. You always have to keep in mind you're still a battleship, so your smoke firing penalty, right? You still get pretty much spotted no matter what if you fire your guns in the smoke, right? But you can use it to kind of, change course or, get out of jail kind of free kind of thing. If you're taking a lot of fire, you could stop firing your guns, use the smoke, get away from that situation, right? So nice broadside shot on this Worcester. He is far out, and we are probably going to get a lot of over penetrations, and we do all three. So there's that. And then we've got Stalingrad on the outer flank here, and this Schlieffen that's pushing up, or this Schlieffen that was kind of pushing into the zone along with that Brindisi, right? So we're gonna play it safe here. We're gonna kind of angle and kite away. I won't move too far away from the battle, right? You have to keep in mind, like, we get 4 heals with this build that I'm using. We can take some of the hits, right? As long as you're angled appropriately, it's not too bad to draw some fire with this ship. And then, yeah, just no destroyers here. So that's going to play a big part, too, because you'll notice we're pretty frequently going unspotted as we're kind of, ducking, in between islands. Nobody's got line of sight on us permanently here, right? Whereas if you had destroyer, there might be somebody kind of lingering that's just keeping stuff spotted, right? So we'll use the rear turret on that main and take a little bit from him there. And decent use of radar by whoever that was, because they're picking up this Brindisi, but I don't have a shot on him, which is unfortunate. Yep, we can see the little mountain symbol there is telling us that we're going to hit the land. So we won't waste our bullets there. We'll try this Worcester again, right? I'm going to, we'll probably call it now. We'll get over penetrations on him again. So this is where, like, SAP rounds probably would have been really, really great to shoot at that Worcester. Or even, I mean, HE would be fine too, to be brutally honest, right? Like, so I kind of am leaning towards keeping HE shells. You do take a reload, like your reload is longer if you switch to those SAP rounds, right? So I'll show you at the end of the game here. But we get a double Citadel on the Yoshino, so that ends him. Does have torpedoes. He may or may not have gotten them off in the structure, but either way, we'll move away a little bit. I'm going to damage con the fire. I know there's a little bit of risk there because of that Yoshino if he had sent torpedoes this way. But we're still moving. We're going to move. We're going to use the smoke, like I said, where it's kind of our get out of jail free card, right? So we're unspotted. But already up to 94,000 damage. So whoever told me the ship was garbage, right? I don't know. It's fine. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible, right? Like, but yeah, it is what it is. It's not going to be one of my like preferred go-tos for tier 8 premium ships, but you guys know me. I've got my favorites in that space. So, but I don't think it's bad. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's like many ships. The right circumstance with the right player, can make it look good, right? So, and we kind of run into that here. I definitely do make some mistakes along this game too. I'll call those out. There's a couple of times where I was like, oh, that was just a bad shot, you know. Full health Schlieffen over here. We'll drop the spotter plane to get a little bit of extra dispersion there. If you time it right, like right with the build that I have here, I think I've got a little bit of reload speed built in, so like you could get 2 shots off while that spotter plane is out for the extra, you know, increased main battery dispersion while it's flying. Main is behind cover, Schlieffen is behind cover, and the Stalingrad was behind cover. So I'm trying to decide who to pick on here. Would be great to go after the Stalingrad, but yeah, it looks like we're going to hit the land there. All right, Schlieffen looks like he's going to turn in our favor. So, right, we'll give him a few seconds to turn away from us so we have a little bit better angle on him, and we'll aim nice and low. See what we can get there. Excellent shot. 7 penetrations. Heck yeah. Puts us up to 134,000 damage. I'm not sure. The Stalingrad looks... I think the Stalingrad's shooting HE, but that Worcester's over there too, so... I may have to be a little more diligent with my... I was kind of going crazy with the damage con and the single fires, like, right? Like, I know that's, like, #1 rule as a battleship, right? Like, but, you know, I'm kind of also thinking, like, there's no torpedo threat anywhere near me at the same time here either, so... So I was kind of overusing it, probably somewhat inappropriately, right? But that was my thought process behind triggering that a little bit more often than you probably should. Really like to hurt this Worcester. All right, Yamato looks like he had an angle on us. Kind of forgot about him out there. See what kind of damage we take. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, of course, now that we were turning away, we gave the main quite a bit of angle here. So we'll continue turning away, try to get angled away from him as well. Kind of hoping for a little bit more damage there. So me and this main, so we're gonna fight him for a little bit, right? He's given us a good angle, right? To like, he's, you know, so like I'm like, all right, you're my target until you're dead, right? So but yeah, I definitely take a couple of like poorly aimed shots at this guy. So I was kind of like mad at myself because we were having such a good game so far, and I was like all excited that this main was like, you know, well angled for us, and then yeah, so that one was fine. Right, and it looked like we did, we broke a turret, I think. Yeah, so there's his second turret on the front is busted now. So we'll have that going for us. And then yeah, between the Worcester, so this one here, I aimed too far forward, right? He wasn't moving, you know, forward that much anymore, and so I definitely should not have aimed. Yeah, we get 1 pen. I mean, that 1 pen gave us a good amount of damage, but like, yeah, that definitely aimed too far forward there. And then he's just hanging on for dear life at this point, right? So I was kind of thinking, you know, this next salvo, we'd be able to end him, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna smoke, right? Because I think that cruiser was keeping him spotted, and then like he wasn't, right? Like, so I take the guess shot here, which gets us spotted. So then he, you know, and I overshot, right? Like I shot too far, right? And then he shoots, which gets him spotted, and then I'm not loaded, right? So I'm calling it out here. Yeah, so like that was where I was like, I kind of misplayed that. He definitely could have been dead if I would have just had some patience and or aimed better with that, like, you know, that initial salvo, right? So I'm not going to make the same mistake twice here. I'll wait until either that cruiser that's in B picks him up or he fires his guns right at somebody else, because that'll get him picked up too. But so we'll be patient this time. And yep, somebody, Des Moines, triggers radar and is close enough to him, so we'll have to give it a second here. So we'll send everything, and then of course yeah, the Des Moines picked him, you know. Des Moines was planning for himself, not for me, right? So yes, 2 cruisers left. So we got the Worcester and the, what was that, the Stalingrad, right? So I'm going to start turning around, and you'll notice, like, you know, once there's some islands in between us and them, we're going to go undetected, right? So I'm going to just turn all the way around, and we'll start moving in towards the zone cap. Realize we don't have a lot of health left, but that's not a big deal. We've got the ship count at this point, right? It's a, you know, almost guaranteed win at this point. Right, so I'll, you know, I kind of like to be a little bit more aggressive in this situation, right? Like, let's get as much out of this game as we can. if we die, it's not a big deal because then we're going to win and I can go start another game early, right? Even though if you've kind of solidified the win, right? So you'll see me play sort of overly aggressive at the end of some games sometimes. But yeah, at least this way we could go and potentially cap this zone and help support our cruiser a little bit. And if we do want to remain undetected, we probably could hide behind this land here, right? I doubt these cruisers are going to push in on the zone here at this point, but you never know. They might have my mindset where they're like, just take me, end it now. But this cruiser's got a lot of health, so we'll rely on him to do some spotting for us. And there it is. There's Stalingrad. And Worcester's out there as well. So we'll use front turrets for Worcester and rear turret for Stalingrad. And in reality, I probably should switch to HE at this point, but I think I take one more salvo with the AP rounds before I think of that idea here. Des Moines finishes off Worcester, so Stalingrad's all that's left. We'll get rid of these bullets and switch to HE. And then we'll turn in here and see if we can't help get a few more hits on him. He's got a good amount of health and he's kiting away, so he'll probably survive for a little bit here. So it might be enough time for us to get this zone capped, and then that'll help us out with XP as well. And of course, now that I switched to HE, he's given us some angle. So we'll aim a little bit high since we're shooting the HE. We want to try and hit, superstructures and stuff like that. And see if we can trigger fire or anything else. Yeah, we get a fire there. And it pops high caliber for us as well. So I think we got high caliber and Confederate already. And then that's going to end the game. We get what, Dreadnought and Fireproof as well, right there at the end. So we'll see what the leaderboard looks like for us and where we stand. And then I'll go through the ship build and the modules I picked in the commander build as well. I think this is a Commander Geist, right? So it's not a paid commander. I'm using one of the free commanders. But yeah, 2,500 XP, that puts us at the top for that game. And walked away with a decent amount of silver. Always those legendary tier and tier 8s, right? It's always nice to just have a positive silver earnings. But aiming system, propulsion mod, concealment, you guys that watch my channel, you kind of know what I'm usually picking with these. And this is the one that I don't pick, right? So there's every once in a while a scenario where I don't pick that extra mod slot on a premium ship. And this one's because you get the SAP rounds, right? But it increases your reload time. So you have to kind of take that into account, right? So, but yes, Angelo Ichino, right? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. There's no way that's right. And then inspirations. If you don't have Azraeli New Jersey, right? I honestly don't even know if that's a good choice for me, even though I have her, right? But I would just do anything that's like AP shell damage, right? Because this other guy's free, right? I would even go maybe something like shell grouping or something like that, or dispersion might be a better choice for that first inspiration. But Flammable Cannoneer, gyrating drill bits for more AP shell damage. I went marksmanship for the better dispersion. You could go on second thought if you want the reload speed. You get a little bit better reload there. That's always, never going to complain about better reload. And then reaching out for the range. And then, of course, I pick will to rebuild. You could do this testudo thing, right, for this, incoming shells while repair party is going on. And you do get an extra repair party there. And then he does have this Iron Resolve, right? The duration of repair party and damage control when they're active at the same time. But I don't know, 13%. How often am I using them both at the same time? And then 13% of a few seconds is not that much more anyway. So yeah. But you do you. That's what's been working out for me with this ship thus far. Like I said, I'm not even sure if I want to keep those inspirations the same there. And so, but thanks for watching my video all the way through, guys. Please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That does help me out. I am still yet a fairly small channel, so yes, your one subscription is valuable to me. It does help me out on the YouTube side of things. So appreciate it, and thanks again to all those who kind of contribute and comment and watch live streams and all that other fun stuff. So, but yeah, Legends videos just about every day. So if you're subscribed, we'll see you guys again tomorrow.